Salon owners. Most people I know that are salon owners that come to us, hi, I'm Richard McCabe, the lifestyle salon coach, come to us not because they're struggling to survive. They struggle to get to the next level. They're usually busy, they're usually working hard, but they're not making much money. So something's wrong. And we have so many things that we have to focus on as a salon owner. We don't really know which one to do. So we go into overwhelm and we do nothing. And then we hope that the business will sort itself out. And we just continue every single day, winging it, hoping that, at the end of the week, we'll have enough money in our bank accounts. And we go, yes, we've had a good week. And for most of us, and like myself, that's how I used to judge my business. At the end of the week, if I had money in my account, more money I had, the more successful I was. And the less money I had, the less successful I was. It didn't relieve me of the stresses of like not having enough money. The stresses of not having enough to pay my staff, will they leave me if I don't pay them enough? The stresses of like clients canceling and will I have enough at the end of the week? It's very strange because I'm not money orientated, and it took me a long time to realize it's all about money. It's all about how much your salon takes and how much is left in the bank account at the end of the week. That's what matters. So if that's all that matters, why is it that most salon owners struggle to know what to do, what to work on, and how to make their salon successful? Because I'm guessing a successful salon is a salon that actually puts money into the bank account at the end of the week to stop you stressing, to pay your staff more, to pay you more, to make sure you've got a safety net if things go wrong, and not to annoy you when people cancel. And if that is the case, one of the biggest things that we see is the wage percentage getting out of control. Let me explain what that actually means. For some of you guys that don't know what a wage percentage is, it's really the amount of money that's took out of your business to pay the staff's wages, and including yours if you work the floor. And that should be sitting at a nice little figure, anywhere between 30% and probably 37 is actually a really sweet spot. And to work that figure out, what you'll do is you'll take your salon takings, so note them down, and then work out your salon wages and note them down, and divide your wages into your salon takings. And if you do that, it will give you a percentage. And that's the percentage that you should be looking for. You see, no matter what happens in your business, no matter how busy you are, no matter how many staff you have, no matter how much you charge, this one figure is more important than anything else. This indicator tells me and yourself exactly what's going on in your business. So first of all, trying to get that sweet spot, that 30 to 37% is what you're aiming for. So if you've worked it out and you're out of that, I'm going to share with you the dangers of both. I also want to share with you a client of mine whose wage percentage is sitting at 29% right now. A lot of salon coaches out there say you can't get to 30%. 50% is the minimum. Well, I disagree. I've never had over 30% myself as a salon owner. And we coach hundreds of salon owners to get to that holy grail of between 30 and 37. And it happens a lot. And they're the ones that are making the money. And they're the ones that have money in their bank account at the end of the week. And there's a lot of so-called coaches out there that could never achieve that. So they believe it is unachievable. I did achieve that. And I believe it's achievable. And that's what I teach. And that's what my clients believe. And we're seeing results time and time again. So let's talk about the dangers. If you're below that 30%, it starts getting a bit dangerous because your staff start to realize that you're taking all the money out and they're not getting their fair share of the money they're putting in by doing clients. So if your wage percentage is like 20%, which everyone's thinking you're doing absolutely fantastic, you're making lots of money, but the reality is that your staff will eventually think you're greedy and leave. So you need to pay them more. You can afford to pay them more. There's more in the pot. Now, if your wage bill is higher than 37%, they say it's broke that 40%. If you're working the floor, what happens is you're usually a busy fool. It usually is that you're taking most of the money. And it makes a difference. The fact is that you are not balanced. And what that means is when you get a beautiful wage percentage that's balanced, you have the perfect amount of clients, seeing the perfect amount of staff members, which gives you the perfect amount of profit at the end of the year. Now, you're going to imagine as a salon owner, let's take the wage percentage back and put it back into some sort of calculations, just to get some context behind this. So it starts off with something really quite simple, is that at the top, you have 100% is your takings. And after that, like your wages come out. And let's just say we'll go with some so-called other gurus right now. And 50% of that money is took out, 50% to spend on wages. Now you're left with 50%. And by the way, this is take away any government taxes beforehand. So let's just remember we've took away the VAT, GST, whatever the government took their bid out. And then we have stock spend, which is usually between 10 and 15%, and you take that out. And then we've got somewhere between 20 to 30% is the wage, the spending of your normal business to keep your business alive, your rent, your insurance, your rates, etc., your car, your telephone, all that sort of stuff. About 20 to 30% goes out. Now think about it. If 50% is already gone out, I'm by a swimming pool in Cairns at the moment, so it might be a bit noisy in the background. So I'm just pause for a second while these people pass. If 50% has gone out, it leaves us 50%. And if 30% of that's going out for bills, we're left with 20%. And if 10 or 15% has gone out for stock, we're only left literally with what? How much? 5 or 10%. Well, that's how much profit your salon's got. So how do we make more money? Well, it comes off the wages. If you've got an extra 20% because your wage was 30, and we've now got a surplus of 20, that goes straight into your profit. Now you've got a profit at 35%. Now that makes a difference. That means you make 35,000 for every 100,000 that goes in the till. Now that's what business is like. It's much better than making just 15% profit, which is too small because you'd have to make so much money just to pay yourself a decent wage. You know, if you want to earn 30,000 a year, you got to do 200,000. It's pretty hard, right? I think it is. So let's keep everything organized in there. Now, so we know the Holy Grail is between 30 and 37% is the perfect sweet spot to get your wages into there. So how do we do that? And what throws that wage percentage out of contact? Throws it out completely. Mine's been took over here at the moment because there's always like someone's going to mop the floor. I'm not too sure. Or they're wheeling the suitcases to the car. Whatever happens, it's too noisy. Better come back to me. So the reason is if your wage percentage is too high, it means that you are overstaffed, which means you have too many staff members, which means they're being really not effective enough. If that's the case, we either have to sack some staff members, which we don't really want to do. It's hard to get good team members right now. It means you don't have enough clients to service the staff you've got. For whatever reason, maybe you had some junior staff members that have come along and now on the floor. Maybe you had 1 or 2 stylists that came along at the same time and you needed to grab them while you could and you did. Or maybe you've lost lots of clients, but whatever happens, you literally have more staff than clients. The ratio is out of whack. So you need to go into hyperactive mode. You've got to decide, do I need to get some new clients coming in? If that's the case, let's start checking out if we're keeping them, because if you're getting new clients already and there's a lot of new clients coming through the door, there's a good chance you're not keeping them. All the clients are dragging their appointments out. So let's first look at, am I getting enough new clients through the door? If you are, then we start looking at the client's return rate. Like, what's the gap between appointments? Like, what is it? It's extending? Is it getting smaller? You've got to work that out yourself. Or are we losing clients completely? If it's neither of them, there's a good chance it's going to be you're busy, you're fully booked, but you're not making enough money. Then it's going to be your average bill and your client journey is not working. It's not as easy as saying you just need new clients. If someone tells you, like a marketing expert saying, if you're not busy enough, you just need new clients, that's so wrong. I can give you 100 new clients today, but if you can't keep them, literally this time next week, you're going to have no clients again. So there's a lot of things to work on, usually 3. So as a salon owner, the best thing I find is let's look at your numbers because they're telling you a story. And I guess that's why a lot of salon owners struggle, because some people don't like numbers, and that's okay. You don't need to. We're creative people. If you want to carry on cutting hair or carry on doing nails or carry on working in a beauty room and you don't really care too much for numbers, just start learning a few easy ones. And that's why people reach out to a salon coach. That's how we're in business, because some people don't want to do that, or they don't want to learn that, or they can't understand what the numbers are saying. They just want to do it. Richard, just tell me what the numbers are saying so I know what I need to go and do. And if that's you, then go and seek some help. Me, I'm a very good coach, but there's plenty of them out there. Just got to watch which ones you want. Some people are money orientated, some are numbers orientated, some are manifestation orientated. Everyone has their thing, right? Me, when we work with salon owners, the first thing we do is we give them a 30% increase in takings, because we believe that's their first biggest issue, is they don't have enough money and they don't have enough clients to fill the staff they've got. The wage percentage is too high and it needs fixing fast, because it's your money that you're losing through the back end. And most businesses that I know close is lack of money. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little chat today. Look out for next week. Someone's just arriving, he's pulling the case along. I'm gonna get out of here. It's pretty warm. It's time to go to the pool for a little swim. Just thought I would jump in, do a quick video, just to let you know that the wage percentage of your business is like the lifeblood of your business. Don't ignore it. Find out what it's doing. Is it pumping too hard or is it pumping just right?